Ladies and gentlemen, fair. There is a force in this world that transcends all other forces of quiet yet unyielding power that shapes, creates, and transforms. It is the power of love, specifically the love that comes from those who care deeply, unconditionally, and without hesitation. This love does not merely exist in the background, waiting for moments of need. It is an active force, one that constantly molds and reshapes the lives it touches. Its power is profound and limitless, capable of changing everything it encounters. This love, though often unspoken, has an inherent strength that can move mountains. It is not a love that demands attention or recognition. It is a love that flows from the heart and nourishes every part of our being. It teaches us that we are capable of so much more than we realize. It nurtures and supports, giving us the strength to face our fears and rise to challenges we never thought possible. It encourages us to push beyond the limits we have set for ourselves, showing us that there is always more within us, more courage, more resilience, more determination than we could have imagined. What makes this love so powerful is that it does not waver in the face of difficulty. It is not contingent on our successes or our failures, but instead is a steady, unwavering force. It is a love that remains constant, no matter what. When life is uncertain, when the road ahead seems impossible, this love stands firm, a guiding light in the darkness. It is in these moments that we feel its true strength, not because it promises an easy path, but because it promises that we will never walk that path alone. It reminds us that we are worthy of every challenge, that we have the power within us to rise above no matter what obstacles we face. This love is a force of creation. It does not simply exist in a passive way, waiting to be called upon. It actively builds and molds the future, shaping lives, shaping destinies. It creates opportunities where none existed before, and it inspires action in the face of doubt. The beauty of this love lies in its ability to breathe life into dreams, to fuel the fires of ambition and hope, even when the world seems determined to extinguish them. It turns ordinary moments into extraordinary ones, and in doing so transforms those who experience it. In a world that often seems driven by chaos and noise, this love is the quiet force that holds everything together. It is not loud or brash, yet it is more powerful than any other force in existence. It does not demand attention, but it commands respect through its unyielding presence. When life becomes overwhelming, when we feel like we are drowning in uncertainty, it is this love that lifts us up, that holds us steady and reminds us that we have everything we need to keep going. It whispers to us that even when we falter, even when we doubt, we are still worthy, still capable, still loved. One of the most incredible aspects of this love is its ability to create something from nothing. It is a force that doesn't just sustain, it actively builds and shapes our lives. When we face difficulties, this love urges us to keep moving forward. It does not allow us to give up, even when all seems lost. It provides the strength to take another step, to face another challenge, to rise one more time. This love teaches us that every setback, every failure is simply a lesson, a stepping stone towards something greater. It shows us that every challenge is an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become more than we were before. In this way, the power of love is limitless. It does not have boundaries, it does not have an end. It is a force that continues to shape, to create, to inspire long after the moments of need have passed. Its influence stretches far beyond the immediate, creating ripples that touch everything and everyone around it. The strength that we gain from experiencing this love does not remain isolated, it extends outward, touching others, encouraging them to find the same power within themselves. It is this collective strength, this shared experience, that has the power to change the world. This love also teaches us that we are capable of so much more than we realize. It challenges us to break through the walls we built around ourselves, to push past the limitations we set, and to explore the depths of our own strength. It calls us to rise higher, to reach further, to become more than we ever thought possible. In its embrace, we discover that we are stronger than we knew, that we are more resilient, more courageous, and more capable of passing the challenges life throws at us. The power of love is not passive. It is an active force, one that shapes, creates, and transforms everything it touches. It challenges us to rise to our fullest potential, to face our fears, and to overcome any obstacle. It provides us with the courage and strength we need to move forward, to keep fighting, and to never give up. It is a love that stands firm, unwavering, and constant, reminding us that we are never truly alone, and that within us lies the power to change the world. Courage is not the absence of fear, nor is it the absence of difficulty. True courage is found in the moments when we face fear, when we confront the hardest challenges life places before us, and choose to rise above them. It is not always the loud, dramatic acts of bravery that leave the deepest impact, but the quiet, determined steps taken even when the path is unclear. Courage is not something that comes naturally in the absence of struggle, it is forged in the midst of struggle. It is a quality that grows in strength each time we choose to keep going, even when the odds are stacked against us. When we think about the essence of courage, we often think of overcoming impossible obstacles or standing against overwhelming forces. And yet, the true measure of courage is not in how grand the challenge is, but in our ability to keep moving forward, step by step, even when fear threatens to paralyze us. In our most vulnerable moments, courage doesn't shout, it whispers. It is the quiet voice within that reminds us to take just one more step, even when the path ahead seems daunting. It is in these moments that we tap into a reservoir of strength we may not even realize exists within us. The power of courage lies in its capacity to rise in the face of adversity. In moments of difficulty, when it seems easier to retreat or surrender, courage calls us to stand firm. It is the inner conviction that says, even though I am afraid, I will not allow fear to rule my actions. I will choose to move forward no matter how uncertain the future seems. This kind of courage is not about bravado or defiance, it is about the quiet strength that allows us to keep moving even when we don't have all the answers, even when we don't know exactly how we will overcome what lies ahead. It is a trust in ourselves, in our ability to rise to the occasion, even in the face of fear. At the heart of courage is the willingness to face what we would rather avoid. It is easy to choose the comfortable, the safe, and the familiar. But courage calls us to venture into the unknown, to face what scares us most, and to move forward anyway. The beauty of this kind of courage is that it doesn't require perfection, it doesn't demand flawless execution. It simply requires the willingness to take the first step, to acknowledge the fear, and to act despite it. Each small step forward, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment, is a testament to the courage within us. This courage does not come from an absence of fear, but rather from our decision to act in spite of it. Fear is a natural response to the unknown, to uncertainty, to challenge. But courage teaches us that fear is not something to be defeated, it is something to be embraced. Fear is a signal that we are stepping outside of our comfort zones, that we are growing, evolving, and expanding. Without fear, there is no opportunity for courage to exist. And so we come to understand that fear is not an enemy, but a companion that guides us toward the very opportunities that will lead to our greatest growth. True courage is not the flash of a moment, it is the steady, unrelenting persistence that moves us forward in the face of setbacks, failure, and obstacles. It is the courage to keep trying, to keep learning, to keep believing, even when things don't go as planned. The journey is not always easy, and the path is not always clear. But with courage in our hearts, we continue on, knowing that each challenge is simply an opportunity to build our strength and resilience. This kind of courage requires a deep belief in ourselves, in our ability to overcome whatever obstacles may arise. It is not about having all the answers or knowing exactly what will happen next. It is about trusting in our own capacity to handle what comes our way, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against us. Courage asks us to lean into uncertainty, to embrace the unknown, and to trust that the very act of moving forward, no matter how small the steps, will lead us to where we need to be. The courage to keep moving forward, even in the face of fear, is a powerful tool. It allows us to overcome challenges we may have once thought impossible. It reminds us that we are not defined by our fears, but by our ability to face them. Every time we choose courage over fear, we take one more step toward becoming the person we are meant to be. And though the journey may be long and the road may be difficult, courage gives us the strength to keep going, to keep believing, and to keep striving towards something greater than we ever thought possible. Courage is the heart's quiet rebellion against defeat. It is not something we summon only in times of victory. It is something that sustains us through every challenge. It is the reminder that even when we feel small, even when the world feels heavy, there is within us an unshakable force, a courage that will carry us through. It is this courage, this quiet determination to keep moving forward, that will ultimately lead us to our greatest triumphs. It is the fuel that drives us to reach for what lies beyond our current grasp, and it is the unwavering light that guides us through the darkest of times. There is a profound beauty in resilience, in the quiet strength that we find within ourselves when faced with adversity. Resilience is not the ability to avoid pain or hardship, it is the ability to endure, to adapt, and to emerge stronger from the challenges life throws our way. It is the strength that lies not in our ability to avoid difficulty, but in our willingness to face it head-on, learn from it, and continue on our path with newfound wisdom and fortitude. When we think about resilience, we often imagine bouncing back from hardship, but resilience is not simply about returning to where we were before. It is about growing from the experience, transforming the hardship into something that enriches us. Every struggle we face, every trial we encounter, presents an opportunity to build our inner strength. It is in these moments that we discover just how strong we truly are. It is in these moments that we learn that even the most difficult experiences are not the end, but a part of the journey, one that will shape us into something stronger, more capable, and more attuned to the world around us. Resilience requires a deep belief in our own capacity to withstand the storms of life. It is not about being unshaken in the face of adversity, but about knowing that even if we are shaken, we will still stand. It is the quiet assurance that no matter how hard life gets, we have within us the strength to keep moving forward. Resilience is not about denying our pain or pretending that we are unaffected by the challenges we face. It is about acknowledging that pain, feeling it fully, and then choosing to rise again despite it. It is the knowledge that we are not defined by the hardships we endure, but by how we respond to them. When we face challenges, it can often feel like we are being tested in ways that seem impossible to overcome. In these moments, it is easy to succumb to the temptation to give up, to believe that we are too weak or too small to serve. But resilience teaches us that we are capable of far more than we give ourselves credit for. It shows us that we have an innate ability to adapt, to adjust our sails when the winds change, and to keep going even when we feel as though we can't take another step. Every obstacle, no matter how insurmountable it may seem in the moment, is an opportunity to find new strength, new wisdom, and new ways of thinking and being. The trials we face are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones that lead us to greater heights. Resilience is not about perfection, it is about progress. It is about taking one step at a time, even when the road is unclear, and trusting that each step brings us closer to where we need to be. There is no need to rush the process, for resilience is built through consistent, steady effort. It is built through the small victories, the quiet moments of persistence, the times when we continue to move forward even when the end seems far out of reach. It is in these moments that we discover that resilience is not something that we are born with, but something that we cultivate through our actions, our decisions, and our willingness to keep going. In the face of hardship, resilience also teaches us the power of adaptability. Life does not always unfold as we expect, and the path we envision for ourselves may often be interrupted by unexpected events or circumstances. But resilience shows us that we are not limited to one way of doing things. It invites us to shift our perspective, to open our minds to new possibilities, and to find creative solutions to the challenges we encounter. Resilience does not demand that we follow a straight line from point to point B. Instead, it asks us to navigate the twists and turns, to find strength in the detours, and to trust that the journey will reveal its own wisdom in time. Resilience also teaches us that we are never truly alone. Though our struggles may feel isolating, there is a shared human experience of overcoming adversity. Resilience connects us with others who have faced similar challenges and emerged stronger because of them. It reminds us that we are part of something larger than ourselves, a web of strength that stretches across time and space. And in this shared experience, we find solidarity, compassion, and a sense of belonging. The power of resilience lies in its ability to transform. It is a force that takes the raw material of hardship and over time molds it into something greater. Just as a seed must break through the soil to grow into a mighty tree, we too must sometimes break through the weight of adversity to discover our true potential. Resilience is the force that allows us to transform pain into wisdom, fear into courage, and failure into growth. It is a reminder that every challenge we face is not an obstacle to our success, but a part of our success, a key element of our evolution into the people we are meant to become. Through resilience, we come to understand that there is no such thing as a setback that is too great to overcome. Every difficulty holds the potential for growth, and every trial is an opportunity to discover a new layer of strength within ourselves. It is not about avoiding hardship, but about embracing it, learning from it, and using it as a foundation upon which we build the life we desire. Resilience shows us that we are not defined by the circumstances we face, but by how we choose to face them, and by the strength we uncover as we rise time and time again. There is a profound power in belief, particularly the belief in oneself. This belief is not just a fleeting thought or a passing feeling, but a deep-rooted conviction that we are capable of facing the challenges that come our way and overcoming them. It is the internal force that fuels our actions, guides our decisions, and propels us toward our goals. Without this belief, we would find it difficult to move forward in the face of uncertainty, for it is only through belief that we find the strength to take that first step into the unknown. Believing in ourselves is not always easy. It is often much simpler to doubt our abilities, to listen to the negative voices that tell us we are not enough, or to focus on the times we have stumbled and failed. Yet the true power of belief is not found in perfection, but in the unwavering faith that we are capable of growing, of evolving and of rising above our challenges. Belief in ourselves is not about thinking that we are invincible, but about understanding that we have within us the strength to persevere, to adapt, and to learn from every experience, good or bad. It is the foundation of resilience and the key to unlocking our full potential. When we believe in ourselves, we begin to see the world differently. We stop viewing obstacles as insurmountable barriers and start seeing them as opportunities to test our limits and prove our capabilities. Challenges that once seemed impossible suddenly become stepping stones toward growth and transformation. Belief shifts our perspective, allowing us to look at life not through the lens of what could go wrong, but through the lens of what we are capable of achieving. It empowers us to take risks, to push ourselves beyond our comfort zones, and to embrace the discomfort that comes with progress. It is this belief that encourages us to take action, to make decisions, and to move forward even when the path ahead is unclear. The power of belief also lies in its ability to silence self-doubt. Self-doubt can be a paralyzing force, keeping us stuck in a cycle of indecision and fear. But when we cultivate a strong belief in ourselves, we are able to quiet that inner critic and push through the doubts that threaten to hold us back. Believing in ourselves means trusting that we have the resources and the ability to find solutions, to navigate challenges, and to rise to the occasion when called upon. It gives us the confidence to keep going even when others may question our choices or abilities. It is the quiet yet powerful force that keeps us moving forward step by step when the world may seem uncertain. This belief also extends beyond ourselves. When we believe in our own abilities, we begin to see the potential in others as well. We understand that everyone has the capacity to grow, to overcome their own challenges, and to become the best version of themselves. This belief creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to believe in their own strength, resilience, and potential. It is a reminder that we are not alone on this journey. We are all connected through our shared human experience of growth and self-discovery. And by lifting others up, we further strengthen our own belief in ourselves, as we see the power of this belief in action and witness the transformations that it creates in those around us. Belief in ourselves also teaches us the importance of perseverance. There will always be moments when the road ahead seems long, when the challenges we face seem insurmountable, and when it feels as though we are not making progress. But belief reminds us that the journey is not always linear. It is not about achieving immediate results, but about staying committed to the process. Belief in ourselves allows us to trust that even the smallest steps are moving us closer to our goals. It helps us maintain hope and determination, even when the outcomes are not immediately visible. It is the knowledge that every effort, no matter how small, is building a foundation for success, and that our perseverance will eventually lead to the rewards we seek. At its core, belief in ourselves is a form of self-compassion. It is the ability to acknowledge our strengths and weaknesses without judgment, to understand that we are worthy of love and respect, just as we are, and to recognize that we are capable of growth. It is about being kind to ourselves in moments of failure, understanding that setbacks are not reflections of our worth, but opportunities to learn and grow. Belief allows us to be patient with ourselves, to trust the process of becoming, and to honor the journey that we are on. It is the quiet strength that allows us to continue even when the road gets tough, because we know that our value is not determined by any single moment or outcome, but by our ongoing effort and determination. The power of believing in ourselves is limitless. It is the driving force behind every great achievement, every moment of growth, and every triumph over adversity. When we believe in ourselves, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We stop living in the shadow of fear and doubt, and instead step into the light of our own potential. It is the belief that no matter where we are or where we've been, we always have the ability to rise higher, to be better, and to become everything we are meant to be. This belief is the key to unlocking our greatest strength, the strength that lies within each and every one of us, waiting to be discovered. There is an incredible strength in quietness, a power that often goes unnoticed but is profound in its impact. It is the strength that does not seek attention, that does not demand applause, yet it is the force that carries us through the most challenging of times. Quiet strength is not about being loud or outwardly bold. It is about the resilience that grows from within, the steady determination that pushes us forward, even when the world around us is uncertain. It is the strength that does not need to be seen to be felt, that does not need to be announced to make a difference. This quiet strength is often underestimated. We live in a world that celebrates loud victories, bold statements, and dramatic gestures. But the greatest power often lies in the silent, unyielding force that keeps us going even when no one is watching, even when no one is cheering us on. This strength does not shout, it whispers. It is the soft voice within that says, keep going, even when everything else around us suggests we stop. It is the gentle but powerful reminder that our inner resolve is enough to carry us through, even when circumstances seem overwhelming. Quiet strength is not about avoiding difficulty or pretending that everything is okay when it is not. It is about facing adversity with grace, meeting challenges with patience, and finding the courage to keep moving forward step by step. It is a calm determination that doesn't rely on external validation or praise, but instead draws on an internal wellspring of conviction. This strength comes from within, from a deep belief in our ability to overcome, to rise, and to continue even when the path ahead is unclear. It is the quiet courage to persist, even when we feel like giving up, knowing that each small effort brings us closer to where we need to be. This strength is also a reflection of emotional intelligence. It is the ability to remain grounded, even in turbulent times, to stay focused and steady in the face of chaos. While the world may seem to be spinning around us, quiet strength enables us to find calm in the midst of the storm. It is the ability to hold steady to our values, our sense of purpose, and our belief in what is possible, even when everything else may be shifting. It is the deep well of patience that allows us to endure, to trust the process, and to know that there is power in persistence. There is also an inherent humility in quiet strength. It does not seek to prove anything to the world. It does not need to announce its presence, because its power is evident in the actions it inspires. Quiet strength is about showing up every day, doing the work, and continuing even when the rewards are not immediate. It is the strength to persist in the face of setbacks, to keep moving forward, even when others may doubt us, even when the results are not visible. This strength doesn't require grand gestures or constant affirmation. It thrives in the belief that doing the right thing, no matter how difficult or how long it takes, is enough. What makes quiet strength so powerful is that it is often invisible to the outside world. The world tends to focus on the loudest voices, the most outwardly confident, the boldest actions. Yet the true power lies in the silent, steady endurance of those who continue to push forward day after day without fanfare. Quiet strength is not concerned with recognition, and it does not need to prove itself. It is an internal force that fuels action, regardless of whether the world is watching. This strength is often seen in the person who continues to move forward, even when the odds are stacked against them, even when the progress is slow, because they know that each step, no matter how small, is a step towards something greater. It is also a reminder that the loudest victories are not always the most meaningful. The most significant achievements are often the quiet ones, the personal victories that no one else sees, the growth that happens behind closed doors, the moments when we choose to keep going when no one is cheering us on. These quiet victories are just as important as the loud, public ones, because they represent the inner strength and determination that we cultivate when no one else is looking. They remind us that the most meaningful changes we make are often the ones we make within ourselves. This quiet strength is a form of empowerment. It teaches us that we do not need external validation to move forward, that we do not need to be constantly reassured in order to keep going. It empowers us to trust ourselves, to rely on our own inner resources, and to take action regardless of how the world perceives us. It teaches us that strength comes not from what we do for others to see, but from what we do for ourselves in those quiet moments when no one is watching, but we are still moving forward with purpose and determination. When we embrace quiet strength, we also embrace the idea that progress doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. We stop measuring our worth based on how much attention we receive or how quickly things happen. Instead, we focus on the steady, consistent work that leads to real growth and lasting change. Quiet strength teaches us that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply to show up, keep going, and trust that, even in silence, we are making a difference. It reminds us that every small action matters, that persistence and consistency are powerful tools for achieving the extraordinary. And ultimately, it is this quiet strength that carries us through, that transforms our challenges into triumphs, and that leads us to the success we seek, not through loud declarations, but through steadfast resolve. When life presents its most difficult challenges, it often feels like the world is pressing down on us, trying to crush our spirit. Yet, in those very moments, there is an incredible power that emerges from within, a force that keeps us pushing forward despite the odds. This power is determination, and it is one of the most transformative forces we have at our disposal. Determination is the inner strength that refuses to give up no matter how hard the road becomes. It is the unwavering resolve that says, "I will keep going no matter what." Determination is not about being immune to difficulty or not feeling the weight of hardship. It is about choosing to move forward despite the challenges. It is the decision to stand up after every fall, to rise again after every setback, and to keep believing that success is possible, even when the path ahead is unclear. Determination is the quiet voice within that tells us not to quit when we are exhausted, but to press on, knowing that each step brings us closer to the breakthrough we need. What makes determination so powerful is that it is built over time, not from a single moment of action, but through consistent effort day after day. It is the choice to persist when the outcome is uncertain, when success seems distant, or when fear tries to take hold. Determination is not about having all the answers or seeing the end result right away. It's about trusting the process, having faith that each small effort, no matter how insignificant it seems, is part of a greater whole. This resolve to keep going also strengthens us in ways we cannot always see at the moment. With each challenge, we become more resilient, more capable, and more confident in our ability to handle what lies ahead. Determination teaches us that even in the darkest times, we have the power to forge a way forward. It reminds us that the greatest accomplishments are often born from the most difficult struggles. It is through determination that we discover just how much strength we truly have, and it is through this strength that we become unstoppable. When faced with overwhelming obstacles, it's easy to feel as though giving up is the only option. Yet in those very moments, there is a choice we can make that will change everything, the choice to keep going. The true power of perseverance lies in this simple but profound decision. It is the inner drive to push through challenges, to continue striving even when it seems like there's no end in sight, and to maintain hope when everything feels uncertain. Perseverance is the force that allows us to rise time and time again, no matter how many setbacks we face, and it is often the deciding factor between success and failure. Perseverance is not about avoiding difficulty, it's about facing it head-on and refusing to let it define us. The path to achievement is rarely smooth, and obstacles will inevitably arise. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is the willingness to keep moving forward, even when things seem impossible. It's the determination to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when the road is long and the end seems out of reach. What makes perseverance so powerful is that it is not dependent on immediate results or instant gratification. It is the quiet strength that keeps us going even when the outcome is uncertain. Each step, no matter how small, is a victory in itself because it is a step closer to our goal. Perseverance teaches us that success is often not about a single leap forward, but about the accumulation of small efforts over time. It is in the process, not just the destination, where we find our true growth. Moreover, perseverance is a reflection of our resilience. It shows us that, no matter how many times we stumble, we have the ability to rise again, to learn from our mistakes, and to keep moving forward with a renewed sense of purpose. This unwavering persistence is what makes the seemingly impossible possible. Every challenge we face, every obstacle that seems insurmountable, is an opportunity to build the kind of strength and character that can only come from persevering through difficulty. Through perseverance, we not only achieve our goals, but become stronger, wiser, and more capable than we were before.